Yo, this is Sulada checking in. Today I'll be talking about Cap Transit, Capricorn season. So when we dealing with Capricorn, it's about structuring and doing things by reality and how that plays off. So we have Cap Sun, and then Cap was in Mercury, but we're gonna leave that to the side since it's Mercury retrograde and Sag, but Cap Sun. So one thing about Cap, it doesn't like to do too much things. It likes to do things in the surroundings where it can manage, and also it likes to pace and like restrict things and reserve. Restrict and reserve. So I've been watching. I don't want to cuss too much. I've been watching Mooney Mercury Baby and also Saint Uno, and one thing that I picked up is that Mooney Mercury Baby, he mentioned about restrictions and limiting things, and seeing things as restriction, like seeing things as a restriction or limit from some people's viewpoints is like, oh, that's bad, or that doesn't feel comfortable. But like, you gotta see it from their point of view. He said that like how certain dimensions, how things go by, but where like thoughts and feelings, like when you think of something, it goes away, and how certain things need to be restricted, and like that's how it plays off in the 3D. So like, if we ain't had like no restrictions or limitations, things would just be going everywhere. And like how like the sun shifts every 2 hours. If there was no restrictions of how the sun shifts, things will just be going everywhere. And that's how it plays in the spiritual world, because there's no like it's closer to nothing in the spiritual world, where like things just go everywhere. It's a constant change, move. But there's certain things that you need restriction, like okay, stabilize, like sit your ass down and relax. Like there's things that you need to plant and anchor down, or restrict something, or limitation something, put to death into something. And also, Saint Uno, he also mentioned about the tower moments, because Capricorn is about building and about stretching something and pacing something and things. And then Capricorn is like kind of like Aries in a bit, but Aries it goes, and like the cliche about thinking about Aries, like, oh yeah, it's impulsive and it gets tired quickly. But you can give it Uriel, for example, how he uses how I don't want to put like how that space uses the element of Aries, because I don't make it like a he she, but like how that space utilizes the element of Aries, where Aries is known for being impulsive, but it's about being consistent. So Dolo's on Earth and stuff like that, but how he uses to manage the element of Aries, he's able to be consistent on things. So he had like many things to do. He got online, social media, and stuff like that. But that goes to say with the Tyler moment, like things build upon, but things fall apart. But it's about not being a baby about it, or it's about being accountable and being perseverant about things. And that's one thing element about Capricorn. It's really persevering, and also it has grit and it's strong, it's stable structure. So like when you build upon something and when it falls, okay, like things come and go, and all possibilities doesn't all possibilities is not comfortable in the way of like, okay, things is gonna be like mundane, or things is gonna be like, okay, that's just it. There's multiple things going on. It doesn't like to be limited. It likes to see things in all like, dang, I don't like to put, okay. It doesn't that damn okay. All possibilities and like having limitations or seeing that one way of things. Like things gonna fall, just like how certain things are falling right now. Things are changing. It's always a constant change of things. It's not just one way of looking at things, and that's it, the way it is. Things fall, and then you build something new back up. You know what I'm saying? It's not just gonna be the same thing, and that's my point. But Capricorn, going through this transit of Capricorn, it's good to have rhythm. Have some rhythm with something. It can just be like, doing something simple, and then also the simple things can make it to a practice. Around right now, it's good to like do something. Like it was always good to like practice something. And sometimes the subconscious, speaking from a subconscious point of view, we don't even know that we are actually practicing. We just doing it, but it becomes like, okay, you need to start getting serious with your individuality. Okay, so like when you start to do more things and start taking it serious with your individuality, you start to make sparks, and when you make sparks, it becomes, you make that spark in the fire, and then you bring it to earth. So you need to start making doing practices and stuff like that. But that goes to say, have a rhythm with things. Things is not all about being quick and fast and stuff like that. It's about being efficient and stable, and being structured. And even though Sagittarius is mainly like expansive and it likes to go everywhere, one thing I can say about Sagittarius is having temperance. Sagittarius, like, it's like you can look at it in the ways of having temperance, and also I practice that, having temperance with things, because you can be overindulging to things, but you also got to go to another space, because Sagittarius is mutable. It doesn't like to be in one thing or doing one thing. It likes to go all over. But also what you plug in that Sagittarius element too, because you can be all over, going everywhere, bull crapping, but you also gonna be productive, going everywhere, being productive, but also have a temperance with things. It's like a child. A child wants to go do this and go do that, but a child can't do everything. And then if you let the child do everything, make sure you have like temperance with it, a time schedule or a routine with it. And if you've been practicing like temperance with the Sag, having equilibrium, I would say Sag, you get to mold it, like a clay. You get to craft it, and then actually structure that. So like in a way, the Capricorn is able to manage what it is in reality, but also have that action to do things, take the vision and do things efficiently. And so what I have in my notes is like the mechanism of the Cap is actually taking the actions, which is the fire, bringing the fire to earth, which I mentioned about the Sag, but also having, because like, Sag is Sag and then Cap, because of how I see it's like, okay, you get to expand, but also how you going to construct that element, and then actually ground it. How you going to restrict some things, some flunked out things, like is it creative or is it delusional? And also how you use that element delusional and turn to creativity. So you turn to like dirt into like a garden. So you turn like like flunked out things into like what they call it, turning gold or silver into gold, or some like some phrase. It's like you're an alchemist. You're able to alchemize things. So like you can turn a burnt out house or a destructed house into like a mansion. That's my saying. So how you gonna turn that into something else? So like Sag is after Sag, then Sag and Cap. Sag is at no. I'm saying it. Sag after Cap. No, yeah, Sag is after Cap. So how you gonna construct it, restrict it, and limit things? Because Sag is everywhere, but also like how you gonna manage it. But also the earth point of view, it is what it is, because sometimes we can get into our heads too much or be big-headed or like in la la land, but like also you got to come down and say like, okay, it is what it is. How can I manage what I have? And that's what's like, showing gratitude, being thankful and grateful for what you have, because like you can be too greedy in the spiritual realm, or like esoterically, like, oh yeah, all these thoughts and ideas, and it takes time. Like things like, shout out to Money Mercury, baby. Wow, I mentioned about how he mentioned about the 40 and 60, like how everything's exponentially going, but you gotta realize, okay, it takes time, and everything has its point of view, a purpose, and a point of view, at its circumstance. So you can't rush things, and also you gotta be like, thankful for what you got, and like everything that you've been doing since Aries season, it should be tangible what you have at the moment. So like Earth, from the Earth point of view, compared to the fire, taking the actions and doing on Earth, or divisions and doing on Earth. Basically, the Earth is like doing what you like, basically dealing it. Like, okay, I got this, I can use this, I can plug into that, and I can do that, okay, I'm good. Is it efficient? Yes, okay. Then you go on that, be productive. And then also missing the elements, So consistency, patience, being reserved, being efficient, constructive is tough, perseverance, because Capricorn, the reason why Capricorn is like a tough sign, because like it likes to start things, but also it might not like be well lasting. So when it's something's not well lasting, okay, it gotta like generate. So like it's so used to be falling on his butt, on his ass. So where you gotta be tough. So it's really tough skin type of sign. So that's why you gotta build rhythm and a pace, so you won't jump too high and then land on the ground. You gotta be like, mellow, equilibrium. So you able to go to like, dense waters, and then also the lighter waters, and also, how to manage yourself, um going through the thick and thin, kind of like old man vibes, where like, I don't know if y'all seen that movie, SiSu, or like Sue, something like that, where like he oh, this stuff connects. Okay, so like the old man, I'll type in the description. It's a movie called SiSu or Sue, where it's like a World War movie, where an old man, he mines the gold, and he's traveled distance lands, and then the Nazis came over and disturbed him, and he just mind his own business, and he don't really care. He don't talk or nothing, and like he got everything that he need. He got the backpack and everything, and like, you don't judge a book by its cover. So they was playing with him and stuff like that, and insulting, and then insulting, abusing women, and he didn't mess with that. So he had to do what he had to do, even though he's not youthful or agile. He was still efficient of what he can do, his tangibilities and his abilities. And that's like another point. That's cool how things are like connected in a line. But I would just type this on the movie description. So if y'all want to watch, y'all can look at it or see the trailer if y'all don't want to watch it, or you don't have to, you do whatever you want. But also, the elements of Capricorn is old man vibe. So like the old man, it's like, look at Gemini as a youthful person, where they able to think a lot and analyze and observe, and also bring upon ideas, compared to the Capricorn, where it's like, okay, old man, okay, I can't able to function that much. I can start things, but also not as mutable as Gemini. So that's the third things, but also how can I make it a tangible thing? What can I do around surroundings? It's Earth, Also, Capricorn deals with the material, structure, reality, being productive. So like, since Saturn rules the number 8, it's about being productive, putting energy to something, making a cycle. As I said, like what comes up must come down. So you making that energy cycle, and then when that energy cycle is like completes, you go on to the next thing. And that'll be like the number 9, which is the Sag. Learn the wisdom of it, going through those cycles and that energy. And also Cap was in Mercury. Yeah. Also, we doing a retrograde, since it's a part of Capricorn. We're doing retrograde, so we evaluate our creativity or delusions, but in a fire sense compared to the water, which is Pisces. So we evaluate our morals, our creativity, our delusions, spirituality, which is individuality, our character, the fire. Also Venus, being mindful of your sex and desires, because it's cool to have like desires, but I don't really like to like use the word desires because it's so tainted. But like, when you have a lightness of something, or like you tend to go to that, you need to have balance with it, because also Scorpio, it does with the 8 too, but it's just like the water. So like, don't overindulge into something. It's good to go through that. Like, it's okay like to if you want to have sex with somebody, it's nothing wrong with having sex. Like, let's be real now, because like some cultures, they deal with sex, the sex culture, the nature as like a bad thing, but it's not bad because you wouldn't be here without sex, and we have sex every day. You know, indulging into something, going to there, going to here, also thinking. You know, thinking and feeling, that's sex. Having your man and a woman, you know, and then making that creation, that's sex. But yeah, so you have to be mindful what you have sex with. You know, certain things you stay out of it. You know, it's good to be asleep on some things, because if you awake to everything, you know, you be indulged to everything. Sometimes it's good to go into different spaces. Okay, that's going over there. Have the emotional intelligence to get out of that space and, you know, do something else. Be productive. You know, be balanced with things, moderate things, and also Mars is in Sag, so that's also having passions, having driven passions about our individuality, spirituality, our morals, and our creativity. And also Mars Sag, that ain't that bad. Like usually, like Mars, if I'll probably see the difference, or we probably tell the difference of how Mars will do when it gets out of Sag. But so far, Mars and Sag is actually pretty cool. You know, just going through experience and also having the passion and drive to it, but like don't be too flunked out with it, because Mars and Sag is like, you know, Mars is like a an ambitious type of planet. It's like transformation type of planet. So like you want to experience it and like, you know, put your point across, but like don't like overindulge to it. All these planets, it just alchemizing. Like you want to be in equilibrium space. Like the main thing, the totality, just be in the equilibrium space, and like things will like play out. I'm not saying things will be good, always bad. Like Dolo say, like the universe is not against you, for you or against you, it's just through you. So like you gotta be the alchemist. And at times you might slip up, which Saint Uno, shout out to Saint Uno, the tower moments, but letting things fall and stuff like that, you learn through that, because everything's not gonna be upheld all the time, and you learn through things when things fall, so you know how to plant better seeds and also plant better buildings in different areas, and also how to structure it better, because you know things always develop, things always progress, and things is not gonna be the same, things not gonna be limited, it's all possibilities. And also Saturn, you know, Jupiter, Taurus. So yeah, Jupiter, Taurus, we expanding and learning through the Earth realm. But we always learn through the Earth realm, but basically practicality and material. So like some people may get expansion through material, like the material world, and some people might get expansion from like their character in the reality. And like there's ways to go about it, because how everything condenses is about your character. So like if your character wasn't expansive, you want to get that material. And sometimes like it ain't always about the material, it's about like your character. So like how you expand yourself in reality. Cause like I don't like to make everything material, and like yeah, we in a 3D, we utilize material, but everything's not material. It's about your character. So like how you expand yourself in reality, but we expand reality. But like hope y'all can get what I'm trying to say. Jupiter and Taurus. So like expanding your values. So like what do you value? You can value money, or you can value someone that has a good mentality. You can value a cheeseburger. You can value a cucumber. You know, it's not good or bad, but like, you know, because everybody got their own traits and stuff like that. Everybody got their own, you know, their own characteristics, but it's how you manage that characteristics. You can value a lot of things. You can value someone's business. You know, if you working with somebody that's close to you, you know, when you're trying to build something, you value that. You take time and seconds, minutes, hours into that. And so that's like Jupiter, you expanding that, you know, second, minutes, hours into values of something. Because like, you know, you indulge into something, you're going to value something. And that also correlates with the Venus, you know, Venus and Taurus, what you value. And then you expanding that, and that's in Scorpio. And like all these things, they connect simultaneously. You know, that's why like the spirit world, like it don't have no limitations. It's just so fire. Like when I say I'm cussing, I'm not cussing like in the vulgarity. Like I'm just like it's like it's an expression in a different space, but not the space of like, you know. But that and then also Saturn Pisces. So Saturn Pisces, ooh, Saturn Pisces, it does with the creativity and delusions, and also the main thing about Pisces is about gaining wisdom, so you can go on to another shift, transition. So that would be like, Aries. So like when you go through that shift of Pisces, you go to Aries, and then you gain like, the head start, head start Aries. Um, so like that brings on the structures, because Saturn does with structure and also energy work, and also limiting and restricting. So Pisces, it likes to be creative and also be flunked out if you let it, because it's like an octave, because like you can be creative in a broader octave or in a higher octave, or you can be flunked out in a lower in a like smaller octave or a lower octave, where it's like, okay, da 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 da, but you're not thinking the bigger picture, or you're not thinking more points of it. And so we put in limits and restrictions on that. So like, and then also what we can learn from it. You know what I'm saying? We can learn from our delusions so we can change and transmute, but also we can learn from creativity so we can expand and produce and plant better seeds. And Saturn doesn't actually like to be there, but if you know how to make way with it, it's actually a good sign, because like there's a lot of things that I ain't gonna lie to you, and I don't have to lie, but it's just like a saying. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I've been messing up for 3 years with like the signs and stuff like that. Like ever since I got in like being aware of astrology and indulging to astrology, it's been better to like manage my character, because like the 3 years I've been like isolated, not like talking. Like ever since I've been talking and making channels and like doing things that's productive, actually like making platforms and things, it's actually been like better of how I see things, and also handling my character. And also like it's fun talking, because like I got like air qualities. It's good to talk. Everything's not like good to be pent up, and it's good to like voice your voice out, and then also connecting with other people that align with you, because teamwork makes the dream work. And then also like, yeah, also connecting with other people, like-minded people. That's what we made YouTube, and then also Instagram, and also all these different platforms, because people that actually share their qualities and share their character actually make these platforms. So like, we basically, what I'm trying to say is like cleaning up. We doing the work of cleaning up. Like we realized like, oh man, them 3 years I was like doing that. Okay, yeah, I messed up, but I'm doing better, and that's how things are. And that does with the Pluto. Also adding Pluto Capricorn, really transformating, also generating, which I don't like to really use regenerating, because like you remaking, like the tower moment. When you let that tower go, you don't regenerate that tower. You go to the next thing and build something new and better. So we regenerating and also changing our status, Capricorn. And that also goes about with the Pluto Cap Sun, changing our status. So they also like changing my status, and then also the other people that can relate with this, changing your status. That you realize like, okay, I've been messing around with these 3 years. You like thinking and feeling, but not actually putting these practices to use, or these traits to use. And so that's what I can add. That's what I'm like. That's why I put to the puzzle. That's why I put to the puzzle. So anybody that can relate, um, you can actually like start to like get on that grind, because when I'm like, if one person is putting the work and then another person putting the work, we can make an accumulation and then make it to a bigger picture. So like everybody can put their own 1-2s in. And also Uranus retrograde in Taurus, so we evaluate our values and seeing how it can be impactful through our individuality, and how is it changing something? Like, is our values changing something, or is it just being a mundane? Because like I went through this. You go through experiences where like, okay, things going to test you, and don't think it's like a test. It's like, oh my God, I gotta do this. Like things is going to like make you realize like, okay, That's that. And basically what I'm saying, that's that. Things gonna come to you, and it's gonna like, hold up. Give me one moment. Shit, I'm pacing myself. So things gonna come to you, and you gotta be the like the bigger space and like accountable. Like, okay, how can I make this valuable in the sense of Uranus and Taurus, and also, you know, just in general, but you could take out the certain pieces in Uranus and Taurus. How can I make this tangibility actually useful? So like what I'm trying to say is like things is going to come to you in life, but how you going to manage it? Because you can't be too isolated and stuff like that in this world. And like, I'm not gonna say this world's all perfect and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it could be flunked out, it could be you know, head turning and stuff like that, but how can you make your way with it? And when I'm saying like it's testing, it's not like testing, but like how, like things like different traits and characters and events is gonna come to you, but how you gonna alchemize it? Because like you know, I'll give you an example. Like at work, you know, just like with certain things I distaste, but I also gotta realize, okay, I gotta put certain things to aside, but how can I, like, you know, work my way with it? So like, cause like you gotta be useful in this world. You can't just be, you know, all about me. It's about a team, and like how can I indulge into this and that, and take certain things out and put to that. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, getting your values restructured, because Taurus, it likes to be stubborn, and you know, it likes to, you know, be practical about things. But also Uranus, it likes to be individual and also change things and rebel, and also pick and choose what you rebel, because rebellion is cool, but rebelling about everything, that just make you look like a jackass. But sometimes a jackass needs to be cool in this area, but in jackass in that area, like, come on, bro, like tighten up, cause like you gotta relate with something. You know, you can't be too demonic. You can't be too much of a devil. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like you need to have some values where like, okay, I take this value to the side, and also, you know, put this value up, make this into a value, because it's how you see. Like you might not find that as appeasing, but once you go through that, you can gain the wisdom. Cause like wisdom, you can never beat wisdom. I'm telling you, bro. You can never beat wisdom. Like, yeah, the knowledge is cool and shit like that, but when you go through life, just go through experience, you extract, like you go through that. So like you might not find that pleasing, but you know, when you be the alchemist at the moment to work your way, and then also go through that moment, and then also become like, you know, you gain more I don't want like to use points, but like you gain more tools and stuff like that. So like, you know, you gotta be wise around at this age of time. So like, you know, you work your way with it, and then you also be the alchemist, and then adjust things, and then also work your way with it. Cause like, you're not always gonna get what you want. You get what you deserve, but also you gotta work what you deserve, work what you have, and that goes with the Capricorn element. It is what it is. How you gonna manage what you have in your surroundings, what you have right now? Because all the seasons that you need to plant your seeds is gone. It's about harvesting what you can do, what you have, and stuff like that. And certain things is cool, and certain things is like, it's how you look at it too. But yeah, that goes for Uranus and Taurus, like how you gonna utilize your values. And also, you know, Taurus is mainly a stubborn type of sign, but even though it's stubborn, you still gotta like nurture that woman. Like, okay, like talk to your girl, like, okay, I know this shit ain't working out, but it's gonna be a fucking way. Real shit. Like, I know ain't working out. I know you're not feeling good. I know we in a rut right now, but it's not the end. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make way with it. And then also, you know, going through that, and then seeing the better day. And Neptune Pisces, that does with creativity and wisdom. So it's direct now. So we gonna be planting seeds of creating better creativities, and also transmuting delusions. I'm more of a proactive way. So like when I'm saying like it's either or. You can you being creative or you could be delusional. But my way of like saying it is like you could be creative and transmute delusions. We not trying to be delusional and shit like that. There's nothing wrong with being delusional. Sometimes you need to get let loose and stuff like that. Being too restricted and limit like, you know, it's equilibrium. It's cool to be delusional, but it's time to get serious. Like, okay, how can I make this things practical? Because we not in the water. We not in a water type realm where everything's like all loose and everything. Like, oh yeah, we in the earth realm where it's like, okay, how can I make it practical? How can I make this thing going? How can I be productive? And that goes for the Neptune. So Neptune's direct, so we plant seeds about our creativity and spirituality, individuality. Individuality is more like a Uranus type, but spirituality is like a Neptune type, where it's like the elements of what I'm talking about, the water realm. But how we can make that creative? Like, how can I make practices? You know, doing yoga and doing splits and all that stuff, and also drawing. You know, expressing how we feel through music and drawing and stuff like that. How can I make that to art, or create some new type of concept of way expressing your way through emotions? And also the element of Neptune. And then also, like, you know, this platform like this, YouTube, me speaking right now, like, it's like, you know, a broader, like, I'm doing it right now, but now looking from a broader view, it's like, okay, yeah, that's Neptune type qualities, you know, talking about these different type of traits, and then the art of it, you know, astrology. Because it's like it's a type of spiritual system, but we do these spiritual system, but we don't worship it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it comes and goes. Like astrology, you know, once you leave, like once you become a broader spirit, we probably not going to use astrology, or we might. Like, it depends. You know what I'm saying? How things go. And then also, I already talked about Pluto. Pluto just gonna transform things. You should transform your status, because like I can speak for myself. I've been bullcrapping for these couple of years, but it's about transformation. You know what I'm saying? As long as you putting the effort in and putting the time and the work in, that's all that matters. Things not gonna come and go as you want all the time, and things not gonna come and go in split for a second. But it's just about, like, you know, managing. You know, it is what it is. How you gonna manage yourself through the present moment, and also just be grateful and thankful for what you have and what you've been doing all through these years. Because, like, as long as you just being yourself and transforming, you doing the work. You know what I'm saying? And as a collective, we changing the world as a team. You know, teamwork makes the dream work. Putting your 1-2 in, planting them seeds. And like in a point is, you think like, oh, I'm all alone, I'm doing this by myself, but it's actually people, you know, like-minded people that actually doing it. And like, it's like, what I'm trying to say, like, it's more than just like what you see with the two eyes. It's like more senses and shit like that. And like, sometimes you might notice and stuff, but like, you know, just know that you doing the work. We all doing the work, and don't feel discouraged and whatever. Like, yeah, it might be hard, but the hardest things is actually like the good things, that the outcome of it. You know, you learn through it. And yeah, honorable mentions about Moon and Mercury baby. Shout out to Moon and Mercury baby, and shout out to Saint Uno. Those two concepts, Moon and Mercury baby, like the good, like the metaphysics, and also was why restrictions, limitations is good. And like, I like how he alchemized that, because it's been seen like the restrictions and limitations are bad, but it's how you use it, and like, what is it purpose? What's his purpose? And then also Saint Uno about the tower moments, how you persevere through how you persevere through, like, you know, droughts or like the fall off, and how you able to, like, you know, suck up and be accountable, and don't be a baby or a bitch, and then, you know, make better, you know, be a man, but also a woman, you know, manage things, you know what I'm saying? Because like the feminine quality, like, you know, feminine, when you hear that feminine aspect, you're able to, you know, utilize things and transmute things and be the alchemist in that way. But, you know, hold on, I'm trying to make it simple. Basically, tower moments, when things fall off, you know, you gain back up, you get off your ass, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is with Cap, you know, get off your ass, and then, you know, you keep on going. And so, yeah, that's it for the Cap transit, you know what I'm saying? Capricorn season, it's about, you know, being peaceful, and like, it's good to take some rest, you know, be patient with things. It's be collected, be down to earth, be collected with things, and then also, you know, do what you want to. But yeah, y'all take y'all time with this. Don't be too much of a brickhead, thinking too much. When you think about something, do it. Just don't think about it and not do it. Coming from an air sign, cause like I can be thinking and shit like that, like la 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 la. But at times I'm like, I might not do it at that instant. I'm probably doing something else while I'm thinking about this at that space, and I'm doing something else. But like, get that shit tangilized. I mean, tangilized and shit like that. But yeah, that's it for Capricorn season. Yeah, it's cool season.